Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylee, and today we are back on the island Clover for another Let's Play video. And you might be able to guess from the title of the video, but also our friend Mabel here. We should be able to get Mabel to move on to the island today, so I thought we could do a little bit of code shopping today, but first we do need to get her onto the island. So yes, okay, she is going to ask to move onto the island. I didn't know if this was our second time or our third time. I was like 95% sure it was our third time meeting her, but I had to time travel a little bit to find a day where she was actually here. But let's go ahead and get her to move on to the island, and that way we can get her to move in the next 2 days, and then we can do a little bit of code shopping. And then after she moves in, we should be at 3 stars, so we'll see at the end of the video maybe if we have time, if we can go talk to Isabel and see if we're at 3 stars as well. And then in preparation, I did clear out this whole area so we can test out some of our codes. I forgot a stump, but I can remove that in a little bit. And here's adorable little Ruby from our last villager hunt video. I do think I am going to get her to stay on the island. I don't think I'm gonna have Cou stay. Spoiler, if you didn't watch that video, we got Ruby and Cou to move to the island. And yeah, I think I'm gonna keep Ruby even though she wasn't on our initial lineup, but I am probably gonna get rid of Cou. But I was thinking about having him on Chroma. If you didn't know, I streamed this past Saturday and we started a new island that is going to be like a Rainbow Forest Core island, and I figured we might be able to have Cou on the island because I want a villager of each color, like a rainbow, like it's a rainbow island obviously. So I figured we might be able to have Cou on the island for the yellow villager. But let's go ahead, and we need to time travel 2 days to get the Tailors shop open. So I'm going to quickly do that, and then I will meet you back here in a second. Alright, we are back. And we actually have a campsite villager today as well. And this is the day where our tailor shop is going to be actually built instead of just in that tent. But I figured we can go ahead and check out our campsite villager too, just in case it's one of the dreamies that we had planned for the island. It usually isn't. I usually feel like they give you such crap villagers in your campsite, but let's see who it is. And it's literally my arch nemesis, Snooty. If you go way back on my channel, when I first started, I did hard mode, and in the hard mode challenge, you have to always take the villager, and you have to wait until they ask to kick out. Like, wait for them to ask to move out, and then you can't say no to them. And I unfortunately autofilled Snooty, and it took me a while to get her off, so she is officially my arch nemesis. Her, Chops, and Rizzo are my least favorite characters in Animal Crossing. So, definitely not going to take her. Definitely not one of the dreamies for this island. Let's go ahead and go over to the tailor shop now, what we actually came here to do. And then Snooty rudely interrupted us. But I'm just going to quickly log into the system inside of the tailor shop, and then I'm going to go ahead and download all of the updates for your Nook phone, because you can get the total of 100 slots, because I think when you start you only have 50, and then I'll download the design portal as well. So I'm just going to stop in and then quickly open up the application, and then we'll close out and go download everything that we need. And Mabel is talking way too much. I also want to talk to Sable because I always forget that you get other designs from Sable, and I have a really bad habit of not actually talking to her. So I think for this island I want to try to get all the options. Jesus, Mabel. Okay. Talking my ear off. I think I want to get all the designs from Sable, so we'll have to come in and talk to her every day. Also, this dress is super cute. I feel like this would work on Booville. Definitely not this island, but that's okay. Okay, let's just log in real quick, and then like I said, we'll go ahead and download the stuff from the Resident Services ABD. And then today, I did want to go through most of our pathing. I don't know how long it will take to download everything. I want to start with our main codes are like pathing, and then maybe if we run out of time we can start a new video where we go through kind of like the fillers, any fabrics that we want, because another build that I thought of that I do want to build on this island that I didn't add to our planning video for some reason, I want to have like a big like feast with like a couple tables and like mismatching, I really can't talk today for some reason, mismatching chairs and everything. Does Mo want to move out? Does he want to move out? He does. Alright, we're definitely gonna let him leave, and then we gotta go villager hunting. I didn't even try to kick anyone out, so I did actually fall in love with Mel, but he's definitely not someone I want to keep for the island. So maybe the next video will be a villager hunt video instead of the pathing video. I don't know. But we will definitely have to go and do a villager hunt. I still am trying to narrow down which villagers I want, because in our planning video I listed like 14 or something, and I can't decide if I want to do all 10 villagers instead of only having 8 as I had like originally planned. The perks of only having 8 is you have more room for other things. Like we have a couple larger builds that we want, like our church build, our hiding the museum behind the temple, and then I also want to have like a pretty large swamp, and we'll actually go through that code today. So I don't know if I want to keep it at 8 because it gives us more room to decorate, or if I do just want to max it out with the 10 villagers because I like so many of them and I just want them on the island. I was also thinking of adding another character, island rep character, so we could have a witch, and like their name would just be a witch, and then maybe instead of my house being inside of like the big lake build, that's another large build that I want to have on this island. Instead of my house being in there, we could have the witch's house be in the middle of the lake, and it'll be like the witch try to like hide herself from like society or something. I don't know, but I was also thinking about having another witch character, so let me know what you think about that. Or because someone recommended coming up with backstories for all the villagers, and I actually really like that idea. I know I've seen a couple other content creators like make backstories for their islands and all of their characters, and I think it's super fun and something I don't usually do. And since we're playing this island a little bit differently from how I normally play this game, I think we could come up with backstories for everyone. Maybe we need to narrow down who we want first, and then we can kind of decide their backstories based on who we pick, because I would want all of the villagers to be like pretty unique in their backstories. I don't want I don't know, them to be too similar or something, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Let me know if you like the idea of having backstories. I'm actually thinking about it now, and I kind of want to do that. I think it would be especially cool with a backstory for like Coco, if we have Coco on the island, because like I said in that video, it kind of seems like Coco is something that was like made from maybe a witch instead of actually an animal in the forest. So I think having a backstory like that would be pretty nifty. And I don't think I downloaded all 100 spots. So let me go run and do that real quick, and then I'll meet you back here for actually downloading all the codes. Alright, I am back and I downloaded the rest of the extra 50 spots. So let's go ahead and open the design app. And like I said, I'm going to start with our main codes first. Just in case we run out of time, we can do a separate video where it's like our fillers and our fabric codes. So I am going to try to organize these real quick. I have them all on my phone. And I think I want to start with the pathway that I've been thinking that I want to use on this island, and it's super pretty. It is like this mossy cobblestone, and it's one of the codes that inspired this whole island. So I'm going to start with this one, and this one and the swamp codes are really what I wanted the most for this island, and I just love how this code looks. I saw it on some other creators' islands, and it's just like so pretty. So this is the code. They have a few different versions of it. I think I'm gonna go for this light version because we are in like September, October time, and the grass is a little bit more like of that toxic yellow color. So this one's more like summer, and then I kind of like this one as well, but this one up here goes a little bit better with the rest of the like codes that we have, I guess, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna quickly save this one, and it comes with a 9-path code, and then it also comes with like these single ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and download all of these real quick. Alright, so I'm almost done downloading this one, and then I did also realize that they have 2 different of the options for the centerpiece. So I did download both for the centerpiece, and then they also have 2 like individual pieces, and I just downloaded the one. I feel like they're close enough that it doesn't really make that big of a difference if we download both of them. And so those are these ones up here. I think I downloaded this one. I just don't want to like take up too much room with them almost being the same one. But I also wanted to mention that I will have all of these codes in the description, and they'll be on the screen as well, so you can follow along or just check the description if you're looking for any of these. And then our next one that we're going to go to is another code that I thought about having as our main path code. So we'll have to decide if we want this like cobblestone one, or if we want this one, or if we just want to be greedy and have both of them. But I do know our swamp code does take up quite a few spots, so I don't know if we'll have that much room for all of the 9-path codes, like 9-piece paths. But I have used this creator's codes so much, especially their like logs. They have a couple like clovers and everything that I really like, and they have these really cool wooden pathways like overgrown bridges. But I've never used one of their like main pathways. I've used like these a bunch, but I was thinking about using this as our 9-piece path. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. So I'm gonna go ahead and download all of these as well. And like I said, I don't know if I want to keep both of them or just use one. I know some of the areas that we have planned are also like the temple and the church. So maybe for our more foresty area, we can use this one that looks a little bit more swampy. And then for our temple and our church, we can use the pathways because they're a little bit more industrial. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know if I want to use both. Well, I guess we'll just see if we have room for both of them. But I'm going to continue to download these, and then I will see you for the next code. Okay, I'm back for a second because I was looking over some of the rest of the codes that this creator has, and I definitely think I want to download a few other ones for these filler pieces, but I'm going to save those for the filler portion of this video. But I was looking at these kind of like worn down wooden deck ones, and I think that would be pretty cool for specific areas, like if we want to give one of the forest homes a like patio kind of. So I am going to download these, and I don't know how many there are. Let me check actually. Let's see. So there's both these side pieces, and then they have a few different like outer pieces. I think I'm going to grab the ones with the edges torn, and then I'm going to grab this one. I don't know, because I like this one too, and it has like the grass details as well. So I'm probably going to grab this one, both of the outer pieces that have the overgrown kind of edges, and then the plain one. This one doesn't have any of the grass coming up, and it doesn't have a clear pixel. So I'm going to save this one and then that other edge, and then this time I will really see you for the next pathway. Alright, so this next pathway I've actually used on a different island. It was on my Saffron Island, where I made the big like swampy dinosaur lake in the middle of my island, and it is by Tortuga Chronicles on Instagram, and it's on her island. I think it's called Nowhere, and it's this beautiful swampy island. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. I'll leave the dream address down in the description for you. It is so creative, but basically her whole island is covered in this swamp code, and then there's like various little like deck pathways to get to all of the homes, and it's just really cool. And also, sorry if you heard a thud, my cat is jumping around my room like a lunatic. But yeah, so I've been saying I want to have a like swampy section of the island, so I'm gonna download pretty much all of these. It's pretty cool because there's like dimension in them. So these ones up here have like the black top at the top of the design, and like there's some corner pieces. And so when it's matched up with like this deck way that they have, I'm also going to download this code. It like gives it more dimension rather than just being like pretty flat. It looks like 3D rather than 2D. So I'm going to download all of the pathway and then all of the codes for the actual swamp. And another cool thing that she did was, you can see in this one, like this will line up with the log stakes, and this one lines up with like a stone or a ruined seat. This one goes to a utility pole, and I don't think we'll use any utility poles on the island, so I'm not going to download this one. And then I'm not sure if I want to use the train tracks. I don't think we have any areas on the island where we would have a train, so I'm probably going to leave those out. And then I'm also going to download these wooden steps because I figured we could use them for like the houses in the swamp, because they can kind of go with these designs where it looks like the house is floating in the swamp, and I really want to do that, especially if we have any of the frog or alligator villagers on the island. Having them in the swamp I think will be really cool. And then I was also looking at these nowhere tiles because I think they could go pretty well for like the temple, because she does have a temple on her island as well. So I think I might download some of these as well, and then probably these windows as well. So that's enough talking about actually downloading them. I'm going to download them real quick and then I will see you back in a minute. Okay, I'm back, and I am just now realizing how many codes we have already downloaded. So I just want you to take a look at how many spots we have left. There's like 12 spots left after downloading all of these. So I definitely don't think that we can keep both of those 9-piece pathways. I'm going to close out of this and take a look at what we've downloaded so far, because I don't know how we've already collected so many codes. So, okay, thank you. So we have this that takes up a good amount of space already. And then, but I really like this code. And then this is the one that I kind of just decided today to download. So I'm not sure. We might just go with this cobblestone path instead of both of them. But let me place them on the ground real quick to take a look at what they look like place, because they might look a little bit different. And something that I'm realizing with this code is I don't know if I'll like it as much with like an interesting design rather than just like the 9 pieces down. Like I don't know if they'll line up differently, so let me try that real quick, because this is what it looks like normally. But if we try to make it a little bit, I don't know, more interesting, like do they line up correctly? I don't know. Let's see. I don't know, because I guess it's not too bad. Like the way that this corner comes up right here is a little weird because it kind of breaks up the like edge of it a little bit. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like with having the edges don't like line up, it has like that little bit of, I'll put an arrow on the screen of where I'm talking about, but like that centerpiece kind of ruins it a little bit. So I'm not sure if I really love this path. I do want to finish this off real quick to see if there's anything else weird, because I will definitely have more organic pathing on this island, unlike Booville, which is very structured. But honestly, it doesn't look too bad, and I kind of like how like swampy it is, because it's supposed to be like a swampy forest. But let's place down the cobblestone. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Let's place down the cobblestone real quick. Let's see. I just love this path so much, and I don't know, I feel like it gives off like a more not mystical, but like overgrown, kind of witchy vibe to me. I don't know if it would look good around the whole island, but like just look how beautiful that is. Like I feel like it blends in with the like the color of the moss on it. Looks so good. I just love how that looks, honestly. So I think we might keep this one and then get rid of this one, unfortunately, because let me see, because I definitely want to add a few more fillers, and this was like, what is that, 11 pieces we would get to add, because right now we only have 12 more pieces left. We have those 10 and then these random 2 up here for like extra pieces. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and delete these ones real quick, and then there is one more 9 path. It's not really a path, it's more of a design for a like witch's circle. So let me delete these real quick and then I'll meet you back in the design app to pick that one out. Okay, we are back, and this next code is actually for a pentagon. I think I mentioned it in our planning video that I want to do a rock garden with a like a witch's circle kind of inside of it. So this is the code I found on Pinterest for it. I also found a red one that is like a lot more in depth, so we can take a look at that one as well. But this one I saw I really liked because it's a 9 path code, and like that doesn't take up like too much room, and I like the coloring of it. It's like the brown with the green. I don't know how it will look on the grass because the grass part of this code looks maybe a little dark, but we'll place it down and see. So I'm going to download this one real quick and then I will meet you back to check out the red one. The only issue with the red one is that that's not really the color scheme that we're going for this island. However, it could be a little cool because red and green are contrasting colors. So to have that pop of red might actually be kind of cool and it will stand out a lot. So I don't know, it will look more like man-made rather than natural, and technically like a pentagon would be man-made or witch-made, I guess. But anyways, let me finish downloading this one, and like I said, I'll meet you back to check out that other code. Okay, so I'm gonna look up this code. I know I'm not gonna download it though, but I just want to show it to you. I didn't realize that it said the number of codes that it has with this design, and this says it takes up 25 spots, which is absolutely crazy. I definitely don't have that much room. We have like what, 12 spots left after this, but I thought it was pretty nifty looking, and I don't know why I just said nifty. That's so weird. But it's pretty big, and I'll put a picture on the screen of what it looks like put together, but I just wanted to share with you the code in case you're doing something similar and are looking for a code like this. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, but I think we're gonna stick with our black version that we had, and then I want to take a look at it. It should be on the ground because I kicked up the other code. So let's see what this looks like. All right, so I was right. Some of the grass, it looks like it's a little too dark for the grass, but I don't know if I mind it that much. I definitely think it will look really cool, like with the rock garden around it and like some shrubs, and then I don't know, it just gives off that witchy vibe that I'm really looking for, which by the way, I just watched The Craft for the first time yesterday and loved it, so definitely got me in a witchy mood for this island. So I'm loving that. And then let's go ahead and place down some of the swamp code. So I downloaded all of it. I don't know if we'll end up using all of it. There are a couple pieces that I might be able to part with, like some of these filler pieces. Like there's 2 codes that have the like wooden log thing. I think there was, or maybe I just downloaded one of them. But like there's 2 ones that you could use vines for, and I think she also used these for more of, what is it called? I can't think of, the tires, because you could put the tile, oh, that's not where I wanted this to go. You can also put it like on the tires on top of it and it will look like the shadow of the tiles, which I think is really cool. And then here is our pathway. I think this deck looks really cool and it sticks with our color scheme, which is really nice. and I just think it looks really cool. Again, I'm gonna leave this DA in the description because it's definitely worth watching. And then I'm also gonna link a tour video of it because Nina Tries did a tour of it, and her like explanation of it I think is really cool because she goes into like color theory, and I just love that with islands. So I'm gonna link that down there as well for you to check out if you haven't already. But I feel like even with just these few codes that we put down, you can already kind of see like the vision of the island coming together. Like this swamp is so beautiful. I didn't use all of it for saffron because I just made like a giant patch of it, but with this decking I think it looks really cool. And then we'll also have this wooden kind of code. Where is it? This one right here. So I figured we could put this underneath the houses that go on the swamp, so like their house would be floating in the swamp, and that looks really cool to me. Alright, but I figured we might as well go ahead and start downloading all of the filler codes as well. And I think I have a few fabric codes as well. There's one that I really like and I'll want to show that to you. And then a bunch of fillers like stones, mushroom circles, that kind of stuff. And then I also have some for buildings. So I guess we can start, let's just start with this one. So I've used this code on a bunch of islands. I think I used it on Saffron and Rubble, and maybe even Pebble, which I just put out for members. But this is the barbed wire fence falling over, and it's one of my favorite codes I've ever seen. It just looks so realistic, and I just love the design. So here's the code for that. And there's two pieces. I think I'm just gonna download this one. I don't want to take up too many spots with the same code, so I'm gonna add that one here. And then this next one is a bunch of small rock fillers, and again I think I used this on Rubble and Saffron as well. Once I find a code that I like, I feel like I just use them over and over again, and this is one of them. They have such good like stone, like pebble fillers almost. So I'll show that to you in a second. And they do have a couple different ones for the different seasons. So they also have this really cool like snow brick pathing that I've never used. But yeah, look, they have like the frozen ones for like winter, and then they have like the brown ones for fall, and then this one, which I think will match our time space the best. And yeah, they have a darker version for like summer. But I'm going to go ahead and download some of these. I don't think I want to download as many as I usually do, but just maybe 2 of them, because I like a little bit of variety, especially if I'm putting them next to each other, like under an item. I don't want them to be too matchy-matchy. So here is 2 of those. And then the next code that I think I'm going to download are some of the plank codes. I like using this plank code as like another option for a pathway, especially if it's like a little narrow squeeze, and it does take up a good amount of room, so I don't know if that's going to be an issue. I think there's 6 of them, but we'll see in a second. Yeah, so they have a bunch of cool codes. Like they have this winter pathway with like these mistletoe little spots, and then they have this cool fall pathing. These aren't really like the style of pathing that I usually go for, but I think they're really beautiful. And then they have some plaid down here. I might actually use this on my fall farm island that I'm planning to do a challenge for, but the codes I'm looking for are these planks, and these are the ones that I use whenever I use planks. I am like always using, what is the word I'm trying to think of? I don't know, I don't cheat on other pathways. I always use these plank codes. But let me download all 6 of these, and then we should have 4 or 5 more spots. I think 5 more spots for a few other fillers. And there is this fabric code that I really want to download, so I'll probably go to fabrics next, and I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so here is the next code that I'm going to download. This is for a like torn fabric code. And the example that they had it on was a elegant chair, and I think it looks really cool on the elegant chair. I saw on a few different items and they don't look as great, but because the elegant chair has like texture to itself already. It looks really cool on this. So these are the these are the 4 fabrics that I was talking about. I like the brown version and the green version. I'm probably gonna go for the green version, and I figured we could probably use this on the chairs or tables or anything that we have for the not picnic, I don't know what to call it, like a feast in the forest. I really want to create that, so I want a couple different fabrics, but I don't have a lot saved right now, so I think this is the only fabric that I have. And then the next one that I'm going to look up is for a couple of wooden doors, because I do think I want to add some fake buildings, like witches' huts or just like little small shacks by the swamp. I do want to use some of the villager homes in that area as well, but I think we can add a few fake buildings as well, and it will just like densen up the whole area because it will be pretty open with that swamp code. But let's see, they have a bunch of really cool codes. These are really cool up here, and like all these stones and everything. People are so talented, it's crazy to me. Yes, these are the ones I was talking about. So I'm gonna download, I don't know, do I want to download both sides of the door? I feel like that's a little wasteful with how much room we have left. I'm rethinking that wooden pathway that we have. Not really a pathway, but let me show you which one I'm talking about. It's the same one where we had like that swampy code. I'm rethinking this because we already have this code, so I can't think of a reason we would need all 4 of these as well. So I might get rid of this so we have a few more fillers, because right now we only have these 3 like stone codes, and I kind of want to add some more mushrooms. And I don't know, there's another wooden code that I was thinking of downloading as well. Let's actually pull that one up next. But there's this really cute mushroom circle that I was also thinking of downloading, and that could be a really cool like filler item. And I don't know, I feel like mushrooms are pretty like witchy. But this one is, I feel like could also be used for those fake buildings. And let me just put this code in and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. So again, they have some really cool codes. I've seen people use these flowers a lot and they're super pretty. I love the soot spray, it's adorable. And also all these window codes that people use for interiors are always so amazing. I don't think I would waste, I wouldn't say waste, but I don't think I would download these for interiors unless I was like really focusing on interiors. But I will say on Booville, we have a bunch of open space left, and which is crazy to me because I feel like I usually fill up my like design spots pretty fast, but I have like almost 20 spots left on that one. But also look at this donkey and these cows. I feel like I might actually use these on our fall farm one. I keep saying that, but it's just like on the top of my mind because I'll be starting that island pretty soon. But aren't these so adorable? I've seen those kind of like farms that people make with like those in the background on stalls, and they're so cute. But this is the other wooden code I was talking about, and let's go ahead and save that down here with the rest of them. So as it stands right now, we only have that one tile left, and there are a few other codes I want to download. And so I think I'm going to, let me see, I'm actually going to jump over to downloading a dress because this is like a witchy dress that I kind of like. And I actually had a little bit of trouble when I was trying to find witchy outfits for this island because I usually like to wear custom design clothing, and for me it's been really fun on Booville to change my outfit every day in all of the other videos. I think it's cool, and I'm actually gonna have trouble deciding which one I want to keep for the island. But my issue with a lot of the witches dresses that I was finding online is that they're all in this style, and I don't know how to describe it, but this just isn't my type of style. Like, I wouldn't wear a long gown like this. I don't know why, and even this dress with the The balloon hem dress is what it's called in that corner. Even this is like a little bit too girly for me, and I definitely don't want to be like, oh, I'm not like other girls. It's just I'm not that girly. Like, I'll definitely like wear a dress in real life, but I wouldn't wear anything that's like so puffy, and this one is actually really cute in the orange one. But I don't know, I can't see my character wearing like a long dress like this. It's just not my style, but I think everyone who does like elegant core islands uses these type of dresses, and I think they look amazing. It's just not my style. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. I just wouldn't dress my Animal Crossing character in anything that I wouldn't wear, so I don't know. And then we have one more code and that I'm going to download right now, and it is for a little fairy circle, and it's just made out of a few mushrooms. So I'm going to put this code in real quick and then I'll show you the code. Alright, so we're back. Yeah, so this is the little fairy circle that I was thinking of downloading. They do have a bunch of different colors, but I think this gray version is the one that will look the best on our island. So I'm going to download this one, and I think I have one more spot down at the bottom. Yes. And I just want to check out what other designs they have because their codes are pretty cool. Like, look at all these signs. They're so fancy. I like this frog too. And I'm just now realizing we don't have anything for our flag. So I might have to search for flags separately because I haven't thought about that. But we don't have anything for our flag except for like that one fabric. And I also want to get a couple different fabrics, so I definitely will have to shorten the list of codes that we have. Again, I'm kind of rethinking these ones already, because I can't think of a scenario where we'd use this instead of this one. So I might get rid of those 4, and that will allow us to use a few more different fabric codes because I don't want to reuse this fabric so many times. But I did say we could use some of the fabrics that the Sable gives us because I do want to do that as well, so I have to keep talking to her. But I'm going to lay down some of these codes real quick so we can get an idea of what they look like on the ground. And where is our fairy circle? Down here. So these are only the fillers that we have right now. I definitely usually have a lot more fillers than this, so I'm not sure. We'll probably have to trim down the number of Swampy codes that we have because there are definitely a lot here, and some that are like similar, like we don't need that many different types of lily pads maybe. So, and we can always change codes out as we design. That's usually what I do anyways. If there's like a spot that I'm looking for that I really need a code for, I'll just go ahead and switch it out, and hopefully it doesn't mess up anything that I've done. But these are pretty much all the codes that we have, which is crazy because this is such a small amount. I didn't add any of like the wooden plank codes or anything, but this is definitely like the style of island that I'm going for, and I'm super excited to decorate. One of the upcoming videos for this island will be the entrance, and I'm a little sad because I feel like our resident services is pretty close, so there won't be a whole lot of room to add a bunch of stuff, but I have some ideas in the back of my mind of what I want to do, so that is super exciting. But I figure before we end the video, we can go ahead and talk to Isabel to see if we have 5 stars, and that way we can start terraforming. And I realized I said 5 stars, but I actually just mean 3 stars. We definitely don't need to hit 5 stars already, and or ever. I know I just hit 5 stars on Bouville, which is amazing. I don't really focus on the stars except for getting to 3 stars because you can get terraforming, but I think you can have a beautiful island that isn't 5 stars because you're like within the constraints of like the rules, like you can't have like that many dropped items. So I know on Pebble, oh, I haven't talked to Tom Nook yet about Project KK. Actually, let's do that real quick. Yeah, Isabel, I know. I'm gonna go talk to him right now. But on Pebble, I know we were stuck at 4 stars, and I was kind of disappointed in that, but it's because I had so many dropped items. I used a lot of the star fragments around the island, and that just dropped our score a bunch. We had a bunch of trees and a bunch of decorations all over the island, but because we had so many dropped star fragments, it just decreased our island score, so I was kind of bummed about that. at first, but I kind of got over it because I liked how the island turned out anyways. So let's see. Okay, Isabel should be able to tell us our island evaluation now. Let's see. It's the moment of truth. I feel like we should be at 3 stars because we have a good amount of items on the island and a bunch of flowers, and I feel like the flowers is usually what she gives us a hard time about. At least for me. I know some people like build inclines and bridges and all of that, but you definitely don't have to do that for 3 stars. Like, yeah, so we have a 3-star island right now. I just have a bunch of items of like the whole stack of 50 fencing and then a bunch of flowers on the island, so you don't need to build like any of the crazy things like the inclines or the bridges. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time talking right now. But yeah, you don't have to build any of that to hit 3 stars. So if you're just trying to get to 3 stars, my recommendation would just be put out all the furniture that you have, even if it's just like caught bugs and fish, because that counts as decoration as well. And then just steal a bunch of flowers from your Nook Mile Islands to get to 3 stars, because it has like the scenery and then the development, and also having all of the stores like the museum, the Nook's Cranny, and the Able Sister shop also help with your development score, especially if you have the upgraded version. So like the larger museum that we have right now, we still have the small Nook's Cranny, but if you do upgrade Nook's Cranny, that will also help with your star rating as well. So but yeah, we hit 3 stars. So in one of our next videos, the next video will probably be a villager hunt because Mo just decided to move out. And then the video after that will probably be our entrance video. So that's super exciting. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video today. We downloaded all of the codes for the island. I will go through and maybe make some changes to a few things, but I'll update you in the next video if I do change any of the codes that we've downloaded. And I'll see you in the next video. I'm so excited to get started on our entrance build. I haven't really built while talking, so this will definitely be a new thing for me, so hopefully that's enjoyable for you guys to watch. But yeah, this is the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends!